Evening people, it's Wednesday the 11th of May 2026, it's just coming up to 5 o'clock and in the background I can hear the church bells ringing. Do you know where I am? So the plan is we're going out for an evening scramble. We're going this way. What a fantastic view. So on the right hand side there, about 1 o'clock-ish, from the centre of the screen, you've got Striding Edge with Helvellyn. At the back of that, then Nethermoor Pike, and then Dollywaggin on the left. And that hillside that's coming down from the right there contains Pinnacle Ridge, and that's the initial objective of the evening. Okay, it's at this point when we get to the end of this woodland here, we do a left. I did watch Mountain Man John's video on Pinnacle Ridge. I watched it twice actually, so I've not even had to look at my map or anything. Well, I say I've not had to look at my map, I mean since I set off. So I did a good study of the map last night, and at this point here we do a left and we make our way up there. So Mountain Man John did say to veer off to the left and don't try to head towards what looks like a path on the right. So about mid-level there's what appears to be a bit of a terrace, and I'll be hopefully walking along that to where you can see the horizon, the ridge on the horizon there. So I'm expecting it to start about here. Now I'm not sure if Mountain Man John meant go further left than this, or this is the point he referenced, but either way I'm on it now. It'll become evident if it's wrong soon enough. Okay, so my choice is to go up there or come off left a little bit and then maybe go that way. I think that's what Mountain Man John meant. If I was out earlier, I'd have made a beeline and just gone for it that way. But we don't want to lose this sun. Okay, so I followed this feature after initially starting the gully. I kind of followed this feature. It was less defined down there and got more prominent, as you can see here. So you can see Ullswater there. Okay, so what looked from the ground to be a terrace is not actually. It's what we was looking at was a false summit, but I've reached the point where I thought it was a terrace, and it's a line of a path. So if you look down, the reason it was a false summit is because you can't see the bottom of this woodland feature in front of me, can you? So at that point, if you think about the angle you're looking at from the bottom, there's this same angle but looking at it in reverse, if that makes sense. So yeah, what I did pretty much was follow the path of least resistance, which was a zigzag up that hill. So there's another view of Ullswater. So if you look that way, you can see an approach path. So I've joined that here. So this approach path is easily identifiable, and this leads to the bottom of Pinnacle Ridge. Okay, so it's 18:30 now. So I've been going an hour, and there's a sheepfold down there. So I'm assuming that's the one where Mighty Man John says when you get level with that, then you start heading up the mountainside. But I haven't seen anything that looks like a Pinnacle Ridge to me so far. So let's see if it's behind this ridge here. But first let's have a look back at Ullswater. Okay, so you can just see the sheepfolds there, and what's in front of me now looks like the path. So I wish I'd have watched the video today, but I'm assuming that's what they call the gun there sticking up. So these things have got a habit of unfolding as you get towards them, so let's see how it goes. Okay, so it's 1846, that sheepfold's down there, and I've come up this scree slope like a zigzag path, and the only pinnacle looking things I can see are these here. So that's where I'm heading, but it doesn't look like anything like what I expected it to look like, if it is the right place. Okay, so I'm still following a bit of a track. I'm hoping it's going to become more clearer. So yeah, I've made my way up that scree slope. Right, so I'm going to put my helmet on now. Still kind of not sure which way it's supposed to be going, but it's definitely not an obvious ridge as I expected. The sun's still high enough in here to give me good visibility. So still got a good couple of hours left, and hopefully we'll get en route. Let's have another look at Ullswater. Okay, helmet's on now. I'm going to start heading up towards that sticky out bit up there. You see there, that pinnacle there. Where is it? There. But let me know in the comments if you know the name of that body down there. Okay, we are getting on steeper terrain now. I've just come up this bit here, and I think I recognise that crack there from one of the videos I watched. There was people roped up doing that bit, but it's starting to look more like a ridge now on my right hand side. I've been blessed by some better sunlight. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to carry on heading up towards those what look like pinnacles, because that's the most pinnacly feature I've seen since I set off, and then we'll see how it goes, won't we? But again, wear a helmet when you're on steep ground, because it's not just the chance that you know, there's a person climbing above you. I would have known that by now anyway, and I don't think there is, but you never know when there's animals like sheep, and I've had a situation once in Andorra where there was goats above me, and not only was they pissing in the air and I was getting drenched with that, they was knocking all loose rocks off. I mean, luckily I didn't get hit by any. I didn't have a helmet on at that time as well. I didn't expect to come across such a situation, so obviously I'm older and wiser these days, so I always wear a helmet if there's going to be any chance of any debris falling towards me in my direction. Yeah, so I've finally found myself on the ridge now. So I've missed out this first probably 80 metres or something like that. I've come to it from around here, and then make this ledge here. So it does get quite serious at this point. As you can see, there's a massive drop there. So I've got a ridge line in front of me now, so I'm quite confident I'm on the right route. Yeah, as you can see, getting quite serious ground now, so need to pay attention. Choose my footholds and handholds very carefully. See these crampon marks, remember these from the video. I hope this angle of the camera is okay because it's on my helmet now and I can't really see what you guys are seeing, and there's no way I'm going to be using a tripod in one hand while I'm climbing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn the camera off and I'll get back to you when I'm at the CRUX section on that corner. Okay, so this is the CRUX section coming up. This is what everybody refers to as the CRUX section in the videos that I've watched. So apparently this is where it gets its grade 3 grading from. Do you know, it's really cold inside that crack, and I've got my watch on, and my watch has been preventing me from getting my hands in as deep as I'd like. Because I don't want to scratch the bugger. It's amazing how cold it is inside that crack there compared with the rock on the face. Right. Let's have a look down. So that's the CRUX section done. There are some very good holes. You've got to think about it a bit. I would say that compared with Jack's rake, you've got more chance of slipping on Jack's rake. And I've thought for a while now that I should do a video talking about why I think Jack's rake should be upgraded, because it really has got a high consequence fall if you mix up. I mean, Jack's rake is level 1, grade 1, sorry. Hang on. Let's have a look. Yeah, Jack's rake is grade 1 Scramble, this is a grade 3. So really, technically, in my opinion, this isn't that much harder than the one particular move that comes to mind on Jack's rake, which if you get wrong, you're a goner. So I'll catch up with you in a minute. Right, this is that bit where you see a lot of people posing for pictures when they've got other means with them, like drones, etc. Unfortunately, we've got no drone, but I really do fancy getting one for things like this. So that's quite a long way down there, and this is where you've got to be very, very careful. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing this with a camping rucksack if you're not experienced in scrambling. What I would advise is that if you are a bit on the nervous side and you're not, you've not got a good head for heights, is probably do this on a rope with somebody that is experienced. Because like this is the first time I've done this, but I can appreciate that somebody who's not an experienced climber will have strong arms, and what happens is when you're nervous, when you're climbing and scrambling, you tend to grip harder, and what that does is it makes your forearms, excuse me, I just burped, makes your forearms get super pumped, and you start panicking then because your fingers want to unfold, and then you lose the sensation, and then you start panicking even more, and that's where serious trouble can happen. Right, so we're on 7:30 now. We started off at 5:30 from Glenridding, didn't we? So yeah, so I'm gonna knock the filming on the head now till we get on top. So that was the main objective of the evening, and next objective is to find a good camp spot, but it's only 7:30, got an hour and a half of light, so I'm going to make the best use of it, and I'll catch you up soon. Right, it's time to put on the Patagonia protector. It's really quite windy up here. When I was on the route, putting my hands inside that CRUX was absolutely freezing. I mean, it was 15 degrees when I set off in Glenridding car park, and even though the sun's on my face now and I can feel the warmth, I can also feel the effects of the wind chill. Okay, so we're just approaching the summit of St Sunday Crag. Yeah, so what I've brought with me is a tent that I managed to get on eBay for 250 quid. So it's a 700 quid tent, and it's called the CRUX X1 Raid. Now, the reason I bought it is because I was out with my mate Anthony 2 weeks ago, and I was in my Lightwave Sigma S20 and he was in his Lightwave S10, and what he'd done is he'd upgraded the poles. So the poles that come with the S10 are 8.5mm, and he got station 13 to make him a set of 9.5mm poles, and what a solid tent that is. And a lot of people won't like the S10 and they won't like this CRUX Raid 1 because the small tents, they're basically assault tents. They're designed for mountaineering, like a bivvy tent. But honestly, I got this X1 and I've had poles made by Station 13 who've been absolutely incredible. Honestly, customer service was just proper top shelf. Mega impressed. So Stuart, if you ever watch this, thank you so much, because that tent is now bomb proof, and I'd put it on par with Hilleberg Solo in terms of stability, providing the wind's coming from one direction. I don't know what it'd be like with crosswinds when the winds are swapping and changing about and hitting you at the side angles and stuff, but certainly it feels proper bomb proof. I'm just looking at the amount of flat areas up here. You've got plenty of choice for pitching tents around here, but I'm not pitching here tonight. Still got an hour and a half left of adventurism inside me. So I'll get back to you once I've found my spot for the night. I mean, I'm glad there's this wind, and they say temperatures are going to go down to, I feel like, of between -5 and -7, because they reckon it's, well, I've seen different forecasts with different wind strengths ranging from 15 mile per hour to 30, so you know, you never know what you're going to get, do you? So yeah, let's see where we end up. Can't stop admiring these views. Okay, so I'm going to leg it over to Grisdale Tarn because what I've not done is I've had my two water bottles filled, and I didn't bring any other water on purpose because this pack weighs about 8 kilograms as it is, with my food and what fluids I've got with me here, but I wanted it to be as light as possible for when I was doing the scramble, so I need to be near a water source. So yes, I'm heading down there to Grisdale Tarn, and then I might, where that hip is down there, I might pitch down there. We'll see. First things first is get some water and then we'll get the tent pitched. I can see what looks like 2 tents down there already. Yeah, there's definitely 2 tents down there. Soon to be 3. Oh, what a night I'm having. Just surrounded by awesome mountains. what a fantastic night. How many cans have you had? I'm guessing at least 4, maybe 6. But you see what happens when you abstain from the devil's piss? Just bursting with energy. My day's not over yet. It's going to be at least 2 hours before I get my head down. But yeah, take your health into your own hands and never think you're getting old. You can see that other tent now. Yeah. So yeah, it's hell of a lot calmer down here now. There's no breeze at all. It's quite still. God, I look red. Yeah, so basically I'm going to collect some water and then I'm going to move on to that ridge there somewhere. I was going to go over kind of here, but I figure if I go over there somewhere I'll get a good view of the rising sun. Yeah, I'm going to put the helmet back on my pack now, and then I need to get a move and get some water and then find my spot for the night. I don't know if you can see, but that tent has got to be pitched at the worst angle I've ever seen a tent pitched in my life. How he's lying in there, I don't know. Okay, so this is the CRUX X1 Raid. Like I said, I got station 13 to make me a set of 9.5mm poles, and it is absolutely solid. I mean, obviously I can't really demonstrate where I am at the moment with the camera in my hand, but it is proper solid. I mean, I've had the Una, Hilleberg Una, and even with the 10mm poles, it's not as strong as this thing. This is the same, I think it's called X-Tex fabric that I've got in my other lightweights, but this is like old Gore-Tex, this. It's a lot thicker material. It's got an air vent there that you can open on the outside and on the inside. And then this front door panel has got this mesh thing here, and then it's got this like real big zip cover there. Same on the bottom part. So the problem is, this is why it won't suit everybody, because to ventilate the tent, if it's raining, you've only really got the one there, because this one you can't have open, because otherwise the rain's going to go through the mesh and inside the tent. So the reason I've chose this tent is because if you get a night like this where it's going to be cold and there's a little chance of rain, then and it's going to be windy as well, then this will serve its purpose very well. So it currently weighs, with these extra thick poles, 1.7 kilograms. And again, because I came out with the intention of doing, what's it called, Pinnacle Ridge, I want it to be as light as possible. So I've got a few different gear choices with me today. I've not even brought my gas, I brought an alcohol stove. So yes, I'm on the alcohol tonight, but you're all chuffed with that, aren't you? But one of the downsides I've always said about alcohol stoves is that if I was on a proper mission and I wanted to do loads of miles, I haven't eaten since It's about 7:30 this morning. I had 4 eggs with about, I don't know how many grams of cheese, plenty of cheese anyway. And that's all I've eaten all day. I've had a coffee about an hour before I got to Glenridding car park, and that's it. But we'll talk more about that at a different time. But the reason I've brought the alcohol stove was purely just because it is my lightest stove setup. And this is another interesting one, or it might be for those of you who are not familiar with trail designs, because I've got a V-Suv and I've got an X-Boil, and I always, my default is always going back to gas. However, this trail design stove that I've got with me, to me, it's the best one out there because it's the simplest to set up. You'll see why when I get it out in a bit. But yeah, getting back to the tent, I know I'm going to love this. I'm 5'10", and I put it up in my garden, and with my mat inside, it's probably going to be in really strong winds a bit of a... there's going to be problems anyway with the tent either touching my feet or my head, but because of my sleeping bag outer, so on the Cumulus X-Lite 400 and my new Panyam, it's a 650 fill, that one, they've both got the Pertex Quantum Pro shell, and we all know what Quantum Pro shell does who watch this channel, don't we? Because that's the one that's most water resistant in all the shells for sleeping bags. Anyway, yeah, so I'm well happy with what I paid for this. There was a couple of issues with it which I've fixed. So that, can you see that there? It's got a big square one on the inside. You can just see the outline, but that's just belt and braces. There was a couple of tiny holes there. They'd been solved or sealed with seam sealant by the guy who had bought it off, and he told me that was doing its job, but I just thought belt and braces, so I've had a heat patch put on the inside, and then well, it's an adhesive patch. However, they use a heat treatment to put it on so it doesn't end up peeling off. I mean, the last time I had this done on a tent, it was a couple of years ago, and it's been bomb-proof. But yeah, other than that, what a great buy. I mean, these tents are 700 quid, £699. And this last couple of weeks, I've spent 700 quid on some premium gear. So I've got this tent, I've got a Cumulus 360 hammock quilt with me for tonight, and I've also bought a Unbound 55. So for 700 quid I got this tent. Bear in mind that this tent's worth 700 quid anyway, brand new, and it's had very little use as well. I'm guessing he had a pole snap on him, because there was one other little bit of an issue. Where is it? One of the pole sleeves has got a little bit of that. There it is. Yeah, that there. But that's nothing. That he's just glued it up. But yeah, anyway, so for 700 quid I managed to get this tent, the Cumulus, I forgot the Taiga, it's called Taiga or something like that, 360 quilt. It's a hammock quilt, and there's a reason why I bought that, even though it's for hammock camping, because unlike other quilts, this has kind of got like an elasticated perimeter to it. So yeah, so for 700 quid I got that quilt, that tent, and an Unbound 55, which has hardly had any use. So again, if you're savvy and you keep an eye on eBay and you watch things and that, you can, and then you make contact with the people that are selling them and become friends with them, you end up striking good deals. Yeah, so for 700 quid I got all that stuff, and all that stuff together is worth about at least 1,700. So there you go. It's well worth keeping an eye on eBay. So it's got a pocket there, and it's got a pocket there. So that's it with the door tied back. Okay, so as you can see, this is a regular wide mat. So the end of the tent bathtub's there. So you've got about 10 inches, but obviously because of the angle of the walls, I mean, I'm 5'10", so I'll get away with this, but I wouldn't recommend anybody who's more than 5'10" to buy it, unless you like sleep diagonally. I mean, it is a 4-season tent at the end of the day, and it's actually you know, it's plenty of room for one. It's not like, I mean, it's a tight squeeze for two, but yeah, you'd get two, and it's a bivvy tent, isn't it? But yeah, I'm happy with it. Not even used it yet, I'm saying I'm happy with it, but I know I will be. I know I've said it many times before, but the loft on these Cumulus sleeping bags and quilts is phenomenal. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've got for food. So what this is like a pot noodle. It's one of them sober ones. It's the large size. And what I've done is I've put a load of mixed nuts in it and some currants. And then I've added some Maldon sea salt and some turmeric, some mixed herbs and a bit of curry powder. And I made one at home a few nights ago, and it was delicious. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that. But these bags, it's pretty much it's another idea of Anthony's. It's a tip and zip bag, and basically you just put boiling hot water in it and leave it to rehydrate, and there you go. I just feel like, so it weighs 250 grams, so you know it's going to be a lot more of an ample meal than those dehydrated ones. I'm just sick to death now of I've not tried all the brands, but you know, I'm just sick to death of constantly eating that. And you know, like I make sacrifices when it comes to eating a bit of processed food when I'm out on a camp, but this is about as healthy as I can make it. I mean, I could go to the length of, you know, cooking proper meals, but I don't want to be doing that. I just want to be boiling water. Oh, I forgot to say, when it's done, I'm going to pour these Cornish sardines in on top of it, a bit of added extra protein. And this is my alcohol setup. This is the ever new 600ml pot, and inside that lives my Trail Designs cone and the burner. So this is the cone. You know, I can pretty much do this one-handed. Well, it says, just 1 second. Yeah, that's it. So that's it. It's set up. And then, where is it? Obviously the pot goes in there. So yeah, I'm not into faff, am I? And all these other burners, alcohol burners, there's a lot of fiddling about with them. And this is super efficient as well. One of the reasons it's my favourite. Yeah, one of the reasons I can go so long without eating is because I eat mostly low glycemic foods. And one thing that you need to be aware of is if you eat something that's high glycemic that raises your insulin, then there's a hormone called ghrelin that's released. It's the hunger hormone. And once that's released into your system, you'll be hungry constantly. So I monitor how much glycemic food I'm eating to control my appetite. And as long as you've got some excess body fat, then when you're fat adapted and you're eating low glycemic foods, fat's slowly released into your system, so you don't get them sensations of hunger. When I was younger, before I knew all this, when I was a PTI in the army, I used to be dead when I got back. I couldn't have a conversation with my wife until I'd eaten, because I realised that my glycogen stores was completely empty. I had low body fat then as well. So I was just completely broken down every day, and I used to get like hyperglycemic and you know, like be on the verge of shaking and everything like that. But as soon as I had something to eat, like carbs, then it went back to normal. So this is why I try and avoid carbs as much as possible. And if I'm going to have carbs, I try mostly to have them in the form of greens. Anyway, that's enough nutrition talk. My water's nearly boiling. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. And it tastes pretty good as well. Like I say, turmeric, a bit of curry powder, black pepper, Malden sea salt, and mixed nuts and some currants as well. But it tastes better than most of the stuff I've tried in terms of dehydrated meals. Good morning, people. It is 12 minutes past 5. I've had a good sleep. It rained a little bit through the night, only a tiny bit, and usually when I sleep in this cumulus mount-like jacket and any sleeping bag, at some point I get too hot and sweaty, I have to take it off. But don't know what the temperatures went down to last night, but you know, when the wind picks up, I'm guessing it's probably right what they forecasted, like around about -5. So interestingly, the outside of this fabric doesn't feel damp at all, and neither does the inside of the tent. And I only had the front door cranked down a couple of inches, and the humidity was forecasted like 50%, and now we've got like a fairly low cloud base. I can just about see. Is that film here I can see from here, or will it be Windermere? And I need to look at my map and get my bearings. But Grisdale is behind me now. As I was coming down last night from St Sunday Crag, I mentioned that I might camp over to the right, and then I decided to come over this side because I thought if I'm going to get there's any chance of a sunrise, it'll be on this side, but no chance of a sunrise. So I've put the alcohol burner on. Probably be boiling in I don't know, another 8 minutes or so, and we'll open the magic Twinings tea box, shall we? See what's in there today. So last night, that meal I made, I said it was 250 grams, wasn't it, dry? So it was hard work. It was too much. I could half that. I think I'll just get a regular sober pot noodle next time and put half the amount of nuts in, because it got to a point where even though it was tasty, it was quite hard work getting it all down. So yeah, I'll do that. And then what I will do is the weight saving I'm getting on my food, I'm going to bring my gas stove, because one problem with this tent, because it's got no porch, you have to cook outside with an alcohol stove. So at least with my gas stove, if it was raining, that Soto Windmaster and the fire maple setup, it's so quick, you know, I could hold it in my hand and it'd be ready in like less than a minute and a half. So yes, so we've got, didn't even have a sleep tea last night. So we've got the Clipper sleep tea, 2 of them, didn't need them. We've got a Lady Grey. Ooh. We've got a strong Earl Grey, that's looking favourite. We've got we've got a normal Earl Grey. And we've got a vanilla Earl Grey. and a lavender Earl Grey. I like the sound of lavender. I did have one of these the other day, they're quite nice. Hang on. Yeah, we've not brought any Yorkshire tea today because obviously we're in Cumbria. Don't want the Yorkshire police on my back. Right, oh, the water's back quicker than expected. So, get the brew on. Oh, not left one out, bugger. What did we settle on now? I've not woke up. Yeah, I'll have a strong Earl Grey to start with, and then we'll have that lavender one in a bit. He's roaring away there. Yeah, so I had a great day, well, great evening yesterday. By the way, still got my sardines. Didn't have any room for them. But yeah, what a great evening. So yeah, I know I was going on a bit giving you alcoholics in our time, weren't I? So, but no, honestly, you know, the best thing in the world is giving up drinking. I know some people say, well, it's the only pleasure I've got left in life. Well, if that's the only pleasure you've got left in life, you've not got a good life. But just the amount of energy you get, I mean, I've got so many mates who just go through the same routine. They come home from work and they say they're exhausted, and then they crack open a can and then another one, and they seem to come back to life. Well, that's the high glycemic bit that does that, the burst bit. So I might have confused you a little bit when I was going on about when I was in the army, and I used to do a hell of a lot of training, you know, loads of running and gym work and stuff like that. And I'd come home because I didn't understand nutrition the way I do now. I'd be like hyperglycemic because I would have depleted all my glycogen levels, whereas now I'm fat adapted. So, you know, when you're running off carbs, you if you really go for it, you empty the tank. But when you're fat adapted and you eat low glycemic foods, it's like a never-ending supply of energy, and it's a steady thing, and it just gives you so much mental clarity. You might not think that watching some of these videos, but it does. You know, it enables you to stay focused longer, so everything improves. But yeah, I just, you know, it's like, apart from a little blip where I had a relationship, it's coming on for more than 10 years now, or is it? Yeah, it's just slightly more than 10 years where I've not drank, and feel like I've turned back Father Time, I really do. So yeah, if you want to crack on and waste a load of money and slowly kill yourself, you know, by all means go ahead. But if you want to turn a leaf and be revitalised and energised, you know, do what Uncle Olan tells you. Right, I'm going to swig this brew and then start thinking about what's going to happen about getting back. By the way, this is me view. Well, that last brew didn't touch the sides, so we're going to smash another one. I know what you're thinking. Oh, and you shouldn't be mixing your teas up like that. Not at your age. know what? Living on the wild side. Right, let's open the Magic Twinings tea box, and we can't have a sleep tea, can we? Yeah, let's have a vanilla. I made that last one a bit too weak, too much water. So yeah, try and get it right this time with the vanilla. Yeah, I'm gonna get on with this tent. It's definitely for me, this tent. But like I said yesterday, it's going to be for when you get cold and windy, dry, and I want to get a lot of mileage. And I know I didn't get a great deal of mileage in last night. I mean, we set off. I said a few times on the video that we set off at 5:30. It was 5 o'clock, wasn't it? So yeah, next time I do that, I can tweak my gear a little bit, and I'm going to be looking for some cool temperatures. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same scramble and then end up doing Fairfield and Dollywagon and Helvellyn, Nethermost Pack, and then Helvellyn, and then Raise, and then I'm going to make my way to Sheffield. So that'll be a big day. That there'll be no late starts on that one. Yeah, so well, what I'm going to do now anyway is after I've had this brew, I'm going to pack up and then I'm just going to walk back over to Grisdale. I'm going to go and have a look at that body on the way back, the one that I asked you lot to name. So, yeah, I'll see you on the way back. Right, okay, let's have a look around. Goes without saying, leave no trace. There was a couple of fag butts here, so obviously it's a place where, yeah, what's that there? That's nothing to do with me. No, it's a fag, you dirty, filthy animals. I'll put that in my bag in a minute. But yeah, nice spot, nice flat spot on the hip here, coming down from St Sunday Crag. Grisdale Tarn's just behind there, and you can see there's a like low cloud base coming in. Just had a bit of a sprinkle of a shower earlier just after my brews, but then I managed to shake the tent off, and I'd say it's about 70% dry once I give it a good shake and what have you. So yeah, I'm just on my way down now, and I'll catch you probably at that hut. Okay, let's have a last look around. There's low cloud base coming towards at the moment. So yeah, it goes without saying, leave no trace. You can see the dry patch where I was. I will catch up with you when I get to that hut. So see you in a bit. Let's see if Mr. Slopey Tent's still there. Yep. What a man. God, that really is the worst pitch tent I've ever seen. When the wind picks up, it's blowing all over the shop. It looks like two of his guy lines have come out. I think he's a fisherman. It looks like he's got a rod rest there, and a bag of rods behind it as well. But yeah, that man certainly knows how to pitch a tent. I wonder if he's got a YouTube channel. So this is a view looking up towards St Sunday Crag now, and you can see there's a clear ridge line from this angle here. You couldn't see that from the approaching side of Patterdale, could you? Anyway, at least we know now, so next time it'll be much easier to find the start, and we'll make it a longer day. So the last look at Pinnacle Ridge, yeah, I definitely thought that for grade 3 Scramble, it wasn't much more difficult than Jack's Rake. I do think that Jack's Rake is a dangerous scramble, certainly not one for beginners unless you've got a really good head for heights. So yeah, in my opinion, you know, it's a dangerous grade 1 Jack's Rake, and I honestly believe that it needs an upgrade. Ruthwaite Lodge, restored by the maintenance team of Outward Bound Ullswater and dedicated 26th of the 3rd 93 to the memory of Richard Reed and Mike Evans, tutors from OBU, killed on Mount Cook, New Zealand, 31st of the 1st 1988. And it's closed. A good spot to get out of the wind here and make a brew if you needed to. Right then, I'm going to wrap up here. Thanks very much for watching. If you haven't already, give us a sub. So I'm back in the coalface on Saturday. I'm just working Saturday and Sunday now, so expect a video, well, at least 3 a month anyway. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave us a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Jack's Rake if you've done it, and also if you know of any good scrambles you can recommend. Right then, take care and God bless.